Today, we are going to deconstruct a case study with a return on investment so huge it honestly looks like a typo. This is a story about a marketing claim so perfect that it became a product all on its own. But how real is it? Well, let's dig in and find out.
66,567%. Just let that number sit for a second. I mean, it's the kind of ROI that just seems completely made up, right? So how on earth did they claim to achieve this?
Well, this is the exact promise at the heart of the story from the Hello Gorgeous Med Spa. This is the core claim we're going to break down. A tiny, tiny investment that supposedly exploded into a massive return, and all within a single day. So let's take a look at how they said it all went down. Okay, first up, let's just take the marketing at face value. We're going to look at the case study exactly as it was presented to the world, the perfect, almost unbelievable success story. So here's the problem they were facing. It was pretty simple, but it was urgent. The med spa had a list of 2,000 customer contacts that were basically just sitting there, collecting digital dust. And at the exact same time, they had to launch a new $600 weight loss program, and they needed to see results like yesterday. The solution they came up with? A really slick, modern SMS campaign, complete with its own landing page and even a friendly AI chatbot to talk to potential customers. And here are the supposed results. Look at this chart. For every single dollar they spent, they projected they got back nearly $667. I mean, this wasn't just pitched as a successful campaign, it was presented like a literal money printing machine. And this one visual, this single chart, became the absolute cornerstone of their entire pitch. Now, to add a little credibility, they didn't just throw out those big revenue numbers. They also highlighted a nearly 76% delivery rate for their text messages. It's a smart move, right? Because this little detail makes the whole story feel more grounded, more believable. It hints at technical competence, and it reassures anyone looking to buy that, hey, the system actually works. And here it is. This is the kicker. Speed. It wasn't just about the massive ROI. It was the idea that this whole system was supposedly up, running, and pulling in cash in just 24 hours. So the key takeaway they're selling you is it's not just wildly profitable, it's also incredibly fast. And this brings us to the really important question. When you have a story this powerful, this perfect, you don't just celebrate it once and move on. No, you turn the story itself into a product. So let's jump into our next section, because this is where we see how that one-time marketing win was packaged up, polished, and prepared to be sold over and over and over again. You see, the case study wasn't just a testimonial. It became the engine for a complete sales machine. They built this entire promotional package around it, everything from social media posts to ready-to-go sales scripts. The whole goal was to make this incredible success seem so easy to replicate that any business could just buy the kit and get the exact same results. It was basically a business in a box, all powered by that one spectacular claim. And here is that story weaponized into a marketing headline. This is the actual subject line from one of their cold email templates. It's so direct, so powerful, it's almost impossible to ignore. It just grabs those stunning numbers from the case study to demand your attention. So far, everything looks pretty incredible, doesn't it? You've got a proven result, a full sales kit to back it up. But what about the technology? What's actually under the hood of that mobile-optimized landing page with an AI chatbot? And now it's time to peel back that final layer. We're leaving the shiny world of marketing and we're stepping into the messy world of implementation to see the technical reality that was hiding behind the pitch. Let's just remind ourselves of the promise one more time. A polished, high-tech solution. It sounds seamless, professional, and totally ready to deploy at a moment's notice. Okay, remember that phrase as we look at what's coming next. This was the reality. An internal review found 4 critical, show-stopping bugs. The first one means the application literally wouldn't even compile. It won't run at all. The second one means broken images all over the page. And the fourth one, it means that new developers couldn't even set up the project to start working on fixing it. This isn't a polished product, it's a broken one. And far from being a 24-hour solution, the internal plan to make the software even functional laid out a timeline of 3 weeks, and that was a minimum. Phase 1 is just fixing those critical bugs we just saw. Weeks 2 and 3 were all about getting it to a place where it was actually ready for production. This completely shatters that results in 24-hour story. So what does this all mean? Let's bring everything together now and really look at this huge gap between the story that was being sold and the actual reality of the product. And here it is, side by side. It's pretty stark. On one hand, you've got the pitch, a flawless instant home run. And on the other hand, you have the reality, a broken piece of software that needed weeks of work just to get it to turn on. The promise was a push-button solution. The reality was a major development project. So what's the big lesson here? Well, it's not necessarily about an outright lie, but it is about a gap. The marketing team sold a finished, polished product based on a single, maybe even idealized result, but the operational reality was an unfinished project. And that space, that gap between the promise and the product, that's where so many businesses actually live. And it's where all the real, unglamorous work actually gets done. And that leaves us with a really critical question to ask ourselves anytime we see a too good to be true offer. Don't just ask, what were the results? Ask, what did it actually take to get those results? Because the truth is almost always hiding in the gap between those two answers. Behind every perfect story is an imperfect process. And honestly, that's often the most valuable part of the story to understand.